And that reason made itself evident in the first qualifying session on Saturday. Hill was in the near lane in the Pennzoil car. 467 at over 310. And then disaster struck. The car coming apart just after it crossed the finish line. The driver protection cell held up and went into the sand trap with Eddie Hill on board. From this camera angle, you get an idea of the devastation that Hill's vehicle suffered. Wing collapsed, the tires let go, the rear end came off, the nose of the car came around, and it hit the guardrail. Eddie was along for the ride, which ended up in the sand trap. The NHRA Safety Safari extricated Hill from the remains of the vehicle. Eddie was airlifted to a local hospital, thoroughly examined, and returned to the racetrack just a few hours later to a rather emotional meeting back at the pit area, as the crew was definitely glad to see Hill back in action.
Well, the car felt like it left good and picked the front end up, and then I noticed somewhere seemed like between quarter and half track, it was still carrying the front end, and the car was really marching. And then the car made a violent move. It seemed to me like the way I recall, right after I dropped the chute and shut the fuel off. And the thing did such a violent twitch or whatever happened down there that it kind of disoriented me for a while. It seemed like something else hit, and then I opened my eyes briefly, and sparks are flying by. It felt like I was still running 150 mile an hour with the sparks just boogieing by me. Bad looking deal, but we're here, got a spare car. The guys have already got the spare car out here working on it, and I don't know if NHRA is going to let me run it without being able to qualify it or what. I just got back from the hospital, so I don't have a ruling on that yet.
The ruling was that you have to run the car that you qualified, and obviously that was impossible. So Eddie Hill was at the starting line as the number 16 qualifier. Spike Gore got the single to advance into round number 2. After Gore crossed the finish line, Eddie walked up to the starting line, used his foot to stage, and the crowd, well, they just went crazy. Eddie and Ersie Hill. The good news is that Eddie is okay.